Hello and thank you for press and play. Welcome to A Beer with Bear or any other beverage. This is episode 86, featuring our guest from Gothenburg, Sweden, the Test Pilots. I've been trying to get this band on for a while. Joined by Frank Quaranted, we recorded this earlier this year via StreamYard. This was a very, very mellow episode. As always with these overseas guests, we had coffee while they enjoyed some booze. We discussed their last trip to LA, their connection with our past guest, a fellow Gothenburg band, the Nevrotix. We also talked about other topics including their amazing three-piece sound, their approach to psychobilly, and guitar riffs I just can't get enough of. They are currently back in Los Angeles as I release this. I look forward to hanging out with them in person and seeing them perform live. It will be my first time. Beer with Bear is available to listen to where podcasts are heard. Spotify, iTunes, just to name a few, Libsyn, and SoundCloud.com. If you like what you hear, please support the show and the artists to come on by hitting subscribe, leave a rating, write a positive review, and tell your friends. While you're at, don't forget to like us on Facebook at Beer with Bear Pod, Twitter at Beer with Bear, and Instagram at Beer with Bear Podcast. That's right, due to some technical issues, we are no longer using the Beer with Bear Pod handle. The account's still up, but you want to follow us at Beer with Bear Podcast. There with the other socials, you'll find pictures, updates for upcoming episodes, and it's also the best way to contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Theme music by Chris Helking, mixing and post-production by Ryan Miles. Thank you very much and enjoy. Okay, I know I said we're going to introduce ourselves, but I was delayed. So let's do that one last time. Introduce your name, what you play in the band, and what you're drinking. Starting with Mateus.
Yeah, for the recording or just
we're recording now.
Okay. Now. Hi, I'm Matthias. I do the lead vocals and play the bass in the Test Pilots, and I'm having a New England IPA at the moment. Is that it?
Yeah, you're done. Next one.
Okay, maybe. I'm Anton. I play guitar, and I'm drinking rum.
Pull it up. Let me see that bottle.
It's the cheapest one.
The cheapest one, yeah. That's what.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Johan. I'm the drummer and also on the latest release, engineering and mixing, probably in the coming releases as well. And I'm drinking French Chinon from last year.
And you're on the drums, I take it, right? Because I didn't get your instrument.
Yeah, drummer.
Anton guitar, Matthias bass playing and vocals. So we are here with the Test Pilots. I'm glad this finally happened. I think it was last year. I was trying to get you guys in the show when you were on tour in LA, but I couldn't quite pin you guys down.
Yeah, I'm so happy it finally worked out. We're good at doing the social media thing, but when replying to messages, we have to work on that, to get the flow going, I guess.
Maybe we should put the notifications on.
Yeah, that
we could try.
Not a bad start,
I like the idea.
Yeah.
And back on the show, I say back on the show because he comes in and out. He's a busy guy. We have Frank Quaranted, but he has Frank the Tank on his name there.
It disappeared. I don't know. Is that what you had? I thought you had that, so I just kept it.
Yeah, I think the last time you were on with us, Frank, is when we had Carol from Us Diabats.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for streaming, I know you're on the Ben episode. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So let's talk about the last time you were actually in Los Angeles, California. That's where me and Frank are from, and that's where the show is kind of based out of. Well, LA County. So talk about your time out here, shows you played, the bands you played with, and your experience.
Wow, we had such a great time. I love California, and Emmanuel and those took us around on this small tour or 4 shows that we did. We are so grateful, and we had such a good time. And well, we're super eager to get back to the States, and first Vegas, and then I've never been to Las Vegas before, and then California. The scene is very inspiring over there.
Anything that stood out to you or was surprising about your visit? Maybe food, culture, like traffic.
Yeah, I mean the LA traffic is, for starters, you talk in minutes, not distance. How long is it to this place? It's about 45 minutes. It's not, I mean, we don't talk about minutes. It's more like a distance. Yeah, it's 2 miles or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, usually, yeah, it goes by a minute. Holy fuck, I never thought about that. Yeah, miles. I never mentioned miles.
Yeah,
like,
because we look at the map, and it's not that far. It's like 5 miles. And then we ask someone, yeah, it's about 45 minutes. 45 minutes. I walk 5 miles in 45 minutes, but then with the traffic, it takes.
It depends too, the freeway or street,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hour depends on the hour, I guess. As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Day of a lot of things. Day of the week. Sundays are great. It's nice and wide open. But when you guys were in town, you were playing weekdays. You're actually close to where me and Frank are at, over in the San Fernando Valley. You're in the Carbon Bowl.
Oh yeah,
the bowling alley. Yeah, that's where we're all from. Like that area, the valley.
No, they didn't play at the Corbin Bowl. They played at a different spot. On the top of my head, I can't remember the name, but it wasn't the valley though.
Yeah, exactly. Because you said bowling ball, and I was I that drunk? No, I don't think we played a bowling.
I could have sworn I saw a flyer for the bowling place, but maybe I was drunk. So what are some other spots you guys went to in between shows? Because like I said, when I was getting a hold of you guys, you were doing some traveling, you were moving around. Did you see any of the iconic spots of LA aside from the homeless people?
Well, I found a new record store actually that called Parlor Records or something. That was actually really good. And while in LA, the Tiki Tea, from the early 60s, that's still there. Been on the time while in LA, and then having great Mexican food. Yeah,
but I think when it comes to sightseeing and visiting spots, at least me and Matthias are very, very lazy when we're abroad. We really enjoyed, we found this place in Hollywood. What's the street name? The boulevard, the main boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset.
Sunset, or was it? I can. They put us up in a hotel, like a Motel 6, just on a street from the main boulevard, and we found this place called, I think it was called Tequila, a bar, and they served tequila, and I think we hung out there a lot during the week. Actually,
kept it simple. Yeah.
It was beautiful. And during the evenings, we went to this burgundy room or something.
Oh yeah,
very like dim lights, PBR, and a bourbon shot, like a package, like a rainbow package, but a burgundy package or something. Yeah,
it's always good.
But I have an anecdote from the trip that was I think was fun. So maybe 10 years, 15 years back or something, I was following a crowdfunding project for a documentary for a Johnny Gatlin film as a guitar player. So in the time we were there,
Johnny Gatlin.
yeah.
Last night while I was dreamed about the H-bomb. Well, the bomb went off and I was caught. I was the only man on the ground. There was 13 women and only one man in town. 13 women and only one man in town. Yeah, and as funny as it may be, the one and only man in town was me. Well, 13 women and me, the only man around. I had 2 gals every morning, seeing that I was well fed. And believe you me, one sweet in my tea while another one buttered my bread. 2 gals gave me my money, 2 gals made me my clothes, and another sweet thing bought me a diamond ring, about 40 carats I suppose. Well, 13 women and only one man in town. There was 13 women and only one man in town.
So I've been following this project for a very long time. It's been off and it's been on and so on and so forth. But there was the premiere release there at the Chinese theater at the same time we were there. It just happened to be like the day after we landed or something. I discovered it when I was there. Oh my God, it's right here. So we booked tickets for that and went for that, which was great fun because by the time I was starting following the project, I never thought I would see the premiere in Hollywood. It was just weird. It just happened to be at the same time.
How was the
So we
film?
went
Because I know they've been like crowdfunding and talking about that film for years now.
years, many years, like 15 years or something. It's been on, it's been off. But eventually they put it together and finished it. So we were there. There's another famous blues guitar player, Josh Smith. So we sat right next to him. So great player. So it's fun to meet him as well there. And it was. But I'm not sure whether I like the movie very much. It was sort of just. I sort of missed narrative or something too. It was more like people just paying tribute to him as a player.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was a really good experience, I think, for all of us to be there in that, sharing that feeling with the rest of the crowd and being at the Chinese theater and watching the movie. But I think we all lacked some deep dive into his actual, how he was feeling and why he committed suicide and stuff like that. But there was no focus on that. It was just mainly focusing on, he's the best guitarist in the world, and people saying that over and over again.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of nice features and scenes and stuff and clips, but I think we all like the next level of understanding him and more honest opinions and thoughts on how he was feeling and why he ended his life and stuff. And yeah.
And there's something there to be said.
I can hear a lot of, go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot of things there to be said about maybe his life and to make a stronger narrative for the documentary. It felt a bit like, they had footage from making interviews from the mid-90s and so on. That's such for how long the project is going on.
Yeah,
that was scattered and a bit fragmented, and I just put it all together.
I can hear his influence in your music. That's for sure.
Thank you. He's been a very influential figure among many, I should say. But
So, talking about influence on you, talking about your music, I did want to talk about your music, at Test Pilots, and I want to open up with a track. This is a track that I actually played when I had the Quaranted on the show many years ago because they kind of introduced me to you guys because they were talking about going to see you for an upcoming show, and I'll just play this real quick. Here is Thin Blue Line.
These are the human beings ain't going nowhere. I need a trip in space outside the atmosphere. Cyclones from beyond are problematic. I need to get into my rock and do the Milky Way. Stars are twirling and kings burning. Black colors, the tachometers on board speed. This trip is what I need. Go! Breeze up in up girls with a mosquito and green. Makes my outer space fantasies dirty and mean. The evidence is shaking and our first sunshine moon. We're leaving this world with a big bang boom. Stars are burning and kings burning. Black colors, the tachometers on more speed. This trip is what I need. Go! Stars are twirling and kings burning. Black colors, the tachometers on more speed. This trip is what I need. Go!
All right. So I want to talk about that song because it's an addiction. I don't know for how long, for like maybe close to a year straight. I had to hear that song at least every day on my way to work. The guitar playing, my fucking God. Let's talk about the writing of that song. It's off the, what's it called? The Parachute one. Holy fucking Christ. I had it right here. Jesus Christ. Help me out here. The Parachute album. What's it called?
Parachute Party.
Parachute Party. Thank you very much. So let's talk about that and the playing, and then we'll move on to everyone's style. How you found your style?
I think this track in particular was recorded before the album, and I think we recorded the video before the album as well, because the EP that we did with 4 tracks was recorded at a friend's father's home studio, and he bought some new gear and wanted to try out and do like a year or two after we recorded the EP at his place, and he wanted to try out some new gear that he got. So we went there and recorded this song, and it's actually not. So the 9 other songs on Parachute Party are recorded in another studio, like a year later. So it's kind of different bass sound and guitar sound, and everything, and the drums and. That's. I mean, so it came
there's
earlier.
a lot about about that recording. I think in terms of like the drums, the snare drums, and everything that Boo Boo did there, the guy that was recording us, and also the guitar sound, the tone of that. So it sounds very electrifying. It's very difficult to. I mean, it's his amplifier there, and it's a company called Elmwood, Swedish guitar amp company. It's no more, but great amps and was one of the first. And it's been modded and so on. But it just has this huge electrifying sound. And we recorded it on like max volume. So we sat in the studio and the whole house was like, but I can never recreate that sound to anything else. I have to buy the amp if I want to have anything like that. But yeah, that's a big part of the sound of the song.
Yeah.
You want to add something, Matthias, to that?
No, but then since we wanted to get into this gated reverb thing on the snare drum and everything, and I think it ended. He was. I mean, Bobo used to record with analog stuff way earlier, but then getting into digital engineering and the digital recording world, and he didn't know the program very well. But he was, instead of like putting plugs for fixing that gated reverb, he was copy and paste one of the snare beats through the whole song. And I mean, when you're working in the studio, you are usually very smooth because well, you're in
the digital area.
Yeah, exactly. But Bobo isn't, and so I remember it took like I don't know how many hours, but to in all the fields, and then move, like, zoom in millimeters. Oh, we should put it here. Oh. that was actually real fun. And I don't think you hear lots of cymbals or overhead microphones. It's mostly like a bass drum and the snare.
It's very straightforward.
The slapback is actually like him copy pasting the actual snare.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a question.
The slapback on.
Oh, you said he copy pasted the snare. Is that the snare slapback? Yeah.
The every snare beat through the whole song is the same. But I mean, isn't there like a plug for when it exceed a limiter?
You can like just trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, do the. Yeah, well, he didn't know how to do that, so he just copy and paste.
But the thing is, like, yeah, he's a very analog kind of guy, right? He's not comfortable working with digital recording. But the thing is, he's also like a perfectionist. So he just listened to the song and trying to find the best snare beat, and then he just copied that sound and went through all of the beats throughout the song, and just to make it perfect. That was just who would do such a thing? Yeah,
just so that analog digital world combined.
Yeah.
So you're not the Gothenburg. Did I get it correct?
Yeah.
All right, so you're not the first band we've had from Gothenburg. Actually, we've had some friends of yours, the Nevrotix, episode 71. If you haven't heard it, go back and check it out. They mentioned you guys too, because Johan, you said you're a brother-in-law of the bass player Cecil.
The drummer Cecil.
Drummer. Sorry, what did I say?
Yeah. Bass player.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Look at me. I need more caffeine. Keep going.
Yeah, it's kind of funny story actually, because I remember the other guys when they were starting Nevrotix. It was at my wife's hen party.
That's the one they crashed it, right?
Yeah, and Matthias was throwing like a tiki Hawaiian luau club at a place called Kontiki here in Gothenburg. You remember, Matthias?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Senia, my wife, she had this hen party, and they all came over, and we had this big party. And the guys, Axel and vad heter han? The other? Axel and Henrik, yeah, Henrik. Axel and Henrik were talking about Nevrotix, and they asked me if I wanted to play drums. And I was not into it at the moment, so I told them no, but check with my little brother here, Cecil. He's a mean drummer. And they did, and then they started the band. So I kind of take credit for the whole thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be on your grave, you know.
Exactly.
Founder of, you know, silent founder.
Yeah, orchestrator of the
orchestrator. That's a better word. I'm like, because I'm thinking, what do you write on a grave for stuff like that? I haven't written on many graves, so I don't know. But yeah, orchestrator. There we go. You know, they always say he was a great man, father, you know, son.
But most importantly, orchestrator of the Nevrotix. Yeah.
So hearing that band, hearing you guys, it makes me want to move out to Sweden, Gothenburg, Sweden. I want to be cold. I know there's not really good Mexican food, but I heard your seafood's good. Cecil says go for the shrimp if I do go out there. So I'm moving there. I want to be cold. I want that sound. I want to be around that sound you guys create.
Well, you're always welcome over.
Oh, thank you.
He wants to become a polar bear.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty hairy, so that might help with the cold. But so tell me how you guys formed, though. So I got to hear how the orchestrator, Johan, for the Nevrotix. What about this piece here, the Test Pilots?
Well,
yes, yeah, I think you should probably take it. But maybe Beryl also asked the question about how our sound took form, which I think is related to this question a lot. So maybe you could combine the two.
Yeah, give them both to me. I want to know all of it. I'm excited. I told you I'm cold right now. Just I froze this room just so I could feel the temperature out there.
Did you also like close the blinds for all day because it's dark, like for 5 months here, so you don't get any sunlight? You know.
If I would have known, I didn't have enough time. Next time, though.
Next time, yeah.
Yeah, when you guys come out here, I'll be ready.
Good.
All right, so go ahead. Your formation of the band and how you came up with your sound.
Well, I did 2002. Me and a friend, we started a psychobilly band called Joe Hellraiser and the Grave Robbing Bastards, where I played the guitar, and we had an electric bass player and a drummer, and then like 4 years after, in 2006, well, like after 1 year when we recorded the first album there, the bass player didn't want to do the stand-up bass, so we switched. I bought a double bass and was trying to learn that instrument at the time, probably 2003 or 04 or something. And he played the guitar instead. And then he left the band, and I was like looking around for another guitar player, and a guy that I didn't know very well, but he recommended this other guy. It's one of those rag, which is like what would you say in English, Anton? Like,
it's not translatable.
No, it's not. But well, like on the like not rockabilly guys, but however, he listened to some rockabilly music. But this guy who said that, I didn't know anything about his like preferences or. However, he was speaking about Anton, and he said like, this guy, I think he plays some guitar, and yeah, he's probably good, you know, and yeah, I can give his ICQ or what we used at the time. So I got in contact with him, and Anton, you were 15 years old or something, or 16. So your mother had to drive you to when we were meeting up, and I was blown away. He was plugging in his guitar that you had from your uncle or something, and playing those like Danny Gatton, Albert Lee licks, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so Anton joined that band, Yeah. And then our singer, he moved to England, and the band was no more. But me and Anton did, plan for other stuff, and then we formed the Test Pilots soon after. And that was like 2012, maybe 13 or
12.
So we did go on with a Hellraiser band for a few years together and had some fun shows, Finland, England, and, Sweden, of course. But
yeah, there was time in between there. I think we put the band to rest like 2008, some 9, and then I studied at music school, like you did, Matthias, actually together with Cecil, who plays drums in Nevrotix. So that's another fun connection. We lived together at the music school there many years ago. Yeah, and then we formed Test Pilots. I moved to Gothenburg in 2012.
But we
started
had another drummer at the time.
Yeah.
So Pat, the first drummer, he was in when I was studying at the university. I met him, and he didn't know any psychobilly from before. So it's like, because it's a small scene and non-existing over here, besides a few bands, but in Gothenburg there aren't too many shows anymore. There were around 2010, I think, there was a psychobilly boom with lots of international acts. Like we had Kings of Nothing, and then Flintstones, Demented, Meteors, Long Tall Texans. The Horror Pops was over from the States, and Tiger Arm played.
There was a big scene here like 20 years ago.
Yeah, but not many musicians.
Sorry?
But not many musicians active.
No. Oh.
When you say musicians active, you mean just like locally, like in Gothenburg?
Oh yeah, locally, yeah.
Okay, so I know because we talk about this all the time, how psychobilly comes in waves. Me and Frank are part of that. I guess similar to you guys, that 2000s wave, at 2005, 2008. So we, by my band, his band, tend to have a faster sound. I know Moses called it the 05 sound, which I stole from him from the Syndicates. What were some of the so going into your sound, you have more of a clean tone, more of a 3-piece. Nevrotix talked about how like they're not tough guys, so they want that old school sound. Was that the same for you guys? You didn't want to go fast, you wanted just something cleaner?
Well, when we were actually, before when we were about to start up the band, we were, at the moment, I think me and Anton, because we did all the planning, was like, oh well, should we go do more neobilly stuff, like in the style of Blue Cats or Restless or Caravans or Cellmates, those bands, because we love them so much. And but well, I don't know, we didn't really decide something.
I think the evolution of the band was, I think initially we had an idea about, it was a bit unclear whether we should do more like straight ahead rockabilly kind of stuff, or we should go for the near rockabilly stuff. But I mean, there's a few bands that's been very, very influential on both me and Matthias, which has been Caravans, a lot of Caravans, Restless, Blue Cats, Cellmates. That kind of sound has been very, very influential. But the thing is that me and Matthias, we also play a lot of different other kinds of music. And once we started to write songs, it became evident that it's difficult to sort of put that aside. So it started to sneak in more. But we want to do it in a way that sort of satisfies our sort of rockabilly, psychobilly, aim or something like that. So,
what are some of the other styles you're talking about?
Matthias can start.
Well,
Tiki.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, exotica music, easy listening in all different forms. Lots of jazz music, Latin jazz. I do like impressionistic classical music very much. So, like sometimes modulations and tonality comes from that. Wherever I write material for the test pilots or other projects.
So, Mateus, give me some of the other examples. You mentioned jazz, you mentioned metal. Can you give me a band in particular? Because it's I mean, those are both very big genres of music.
Okay, yeah. Well, when it comes to metal music, I'm a big fan of Cannibal Corpse, Vomitory, and all that stuff. Jazz, the Latin jazz, Kel Chater, the vibraphone player, is my main go-to vibraphonist. But I do like other jazz players as well. And for library music and easy listening, Neil Richardson and John Scott and Esquivel, which are do so much different stuff. And always impressionistic classical would be Debussy or Ravel or Cyril Scott. I guess, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna play another track from you guys off the Deadly Rhythm album. This is gonna be Deadly Rhythm off the Deadly Rhythm album. Like I said, more of that freaking guitar. I love that guitar playing. You want to tell me about that track, some of the writing off of it, and then after that, we'll go into now that the band's formed, your first show, when you start getting to big festivals, and so on. But first, let's hear about the Deadly Rhythm song.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a natural bridge to, or like a cliffhanger to, I mean, how we got the sound and so on, because I think that a lot of these songs, like Deadly Rhythms and Timberline and so on, that were like the first songs that were more like maybe like blues progression and so on, and then incrementally we started to incorporate a bit more different kind of harmony and so on. So I think this was quite early tune. I think, yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly. You wrote the tunes. Maybe you should speak.
Yeah, well, I was probably thinking a bit, when Restless does, something else but a 3-chord thing, and but it still was well, I don't. It felt like just a groovy thing when much rhythm in the riff, and it's I don't think there's actually no chorus on anything on the first EP. So, like, if people like it, I think it's more because there's not many songs that you like perhaps sing along to, even if people do, but it's no it's no it's more I think people more perhaps like the feeling of it, the rhythm, the the variations, perhaps, the drums goes into some snare and toms, and then the guitar comes back and do other interesting stuff, and you're always in a the rhythm and the groove is more important than a strong chorus on those songs. I think
There is some. I mean, we got some criticism from some people that.
Oh yeah.
It says like, yeah, you great songs and so on, but you don't have any choruses. Why don't you have any choruses? I think that there's an explanation for why that is. I mean, there's many of the more of the early ones don't have any choruses, because I think when Matthias writes most of the tunes. Sometimes we write together. Maybe I have a riff going, or Matthias often writes the song, or he's often he leaves me to sort of okay, maybe you could come up with something in the style of this, and I go home like the riff in Timberline, for instance. Matthias had maybe you could use an open string on B, and it goes to G major. So I sat at home and come up with that riff. So the working between me and Matthias has been like that. But I think the explanations to why we don't have had a lot of choruses is similar to because we've been playing and listening to a lot of old tunes, like standards and so on, and they often have a theme or something, and then there is like something in the middle, but they're not chorus based in the sense that you have like pop rock music, when you have a structure of a verse, bridge, and a chorus, and so on and so forth. They're often structured a bit differently. So I think that actually had an impact on how we wrote tunes. What do you say, Matthias?
Yeah, but it's still a thing that we think of, I would say, nowadays, because it's well, if we try to like see if we can squeeze in something that feels like a chorus in more of the tunes than we've had actually.
Hey Frank, what do you think? You think I should get some courses in their music, or what? You're a guitar player, you're in a band. What do you think of their sound and no courses?
Oh, he's muted. I don't hear him.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. Okay, try that, Frank. Sorry, you were muted when I was doing the sound test earlier for that beep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have a few songs without chorus, and it's you're making the song, and you go through it, and then you realize there's no chorus, but it just ran through smooth. I just kind of just let it be.
Yeah, I think if it works for you, go for it.
Everyone criticize about everything.
But
What?
often there is like a substitution for the chorus with a riff instead. So it's like a hook or riff that comes in, and then you have that as instead of a chorus. So.
Oh yeah, go back to like the main riff, or yeah.
Yeah, my response would be, what chorus? I can't hear you. I'm too busy listening to this amazing guitar. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, I don't have a problem with it. It sounds fucking great. Like, if it sounds good, I'll live without it.
All right.
I was listening to the Quaranted today, actually.
Oh, nice.
On the way over here. Yeah, I love your sound. You know, you're very straightforward, power. Power music. Really?
Oh, thank you so much. One time we were practicing and somebody walked by and they're like, "Hey, no offense, but you guys sound like, what did the hell they said? Motorhead and Stray Cats." I was like, "Huh, that's a pretty good. Thank you."
Yeah, that's a good description of it. So my daughter heard Quaranted for the first time today. That was I think she enjoyed it.
Oh, nice.
Definitely.
Glad. Yeah, I can't wait to play with you guys out here in May. May should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Riverside. Last time we were here in Riverside, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same place. Let me look it up real quick. It's called the Hideaway. It's inside of a basement, and they have like a tree in there. I'm pretty sure it's a fake tree. It looks very I don't know. I can't even describe it.
It's not tiki though, right?
It's not tiki at all.
Yeah, because I saw there was a tiki event coming up, and I was thinking, is that place tiki? Because I'm telling you, Mateus, when you come out here, we're gonna now that I know you're in a tiki, we're gonna hit.
Yeah, so maybe I mean,
hey, you been to what's that place in downtown? There's a place in downtown. It has a buffet and it has 4 levels, and each floor is a DJ, a different DJ. But if you go to the 4th floor, right next to the restroom, there's a really big mirror, and if you just push the mirror, it reveals stairs.
We've been there
to the tiki bar.
Yeah.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah, we were
Clifton,
in LA.
Oh, Clifton's, the hidden tiki
bar.
Yeah,
Clifton, right. We were there because me and Matthias we have another band called Ixtovele that plays Exotica. And we were there was 2017, maybe?
Yeah.
And recorded an album. And we stayed there, and we went over to Clifton and pushed the mirror.
Yeah, that was
okay. So that was fun. Like I told you, you bring up tiki, my eyes get big. I want more of it. But you were talking about the Hideaway. So we're going to talk more about that when we get into upcoming shows. We're going to talk about the Vegas and everything, and some of the bands you played with. Because what's it called? Like I said, there's friends of the show, including Frank. And I'm glad to hear that the Quaranteds are making it out to Sweden. Because, like I said, even though you guys have such a different sound, it's psychobilly, and that's the best part about psychobilly is we could sound like you guys. You could sound like the Nevrotix. You could sound like the Quaranteds.
Yeah.
All right, so fast forward, the band's together. Johan, when did you find your way into this project? Because I know they mentioned when they first got together a different drummer. You mentioned you're a sound engineer. You're related to Cecil. You're the orchestrator of the Nevrotix. How did you find your way into this little outfit here?
It was about was it 3 years ago, maybe? Was it 2 years ago, Matthias?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 years ago, something like that. The thing is, me and Matthias, I'm switching between Matthias, which is like the American, and Mattias, which is the Swedish. And sometimes I blend the two, which sounds kind of weird. Me and Matthias, we met like when we were 13, 12, somewhere about 14, 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get older, I think.
We did we had a youth percussion orchestra, like a drum corps. We played together and we did the army drum corps here in Sweden together. and then we started this band Extovele, the Tiki band, the Exotica band, and we've been friends forever. So the real answer to how I got into this is Matthias, because the drummer dropped out. Yeah, Matthias, Matt. And the drummer dropped out, and we thought it would be fun to like throw me in the mix, because I have zero experience of psychobilly previously, and I'm more like into jazz and modern jazz and like rock and hip hop and soul. I come from a different direction, and I know Ant and Matthias were thinking about, okay, let's do an EP, let's do something new, let's try with Johan, and we can use him as a producer or engineering as well, and we can see what happens. And we had this plan to go to LA, and we were thinking, oh, let's do a recording for that, and we got together, and I mean, I love the guys and I love the music, so I think I can learn to play psychobilly as well. It was my first time, but we had a lot of fun, making the EP, and I think it was a really good way of introducing me as a member to the band, to start instead of just like learning all the old songs and doing shows. We started like with the clean canvas, and let's create some new songs and find the new sound with me, and see what happens. And
is that when you came to America, or is this in general, just for the band, for all the shows?
Yeah, no. That I think the shows in LA was probably like my second show with the band, right?
Okay, because if you're in LA, you don't play the Thin Blue Line. I'm walking out. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm going to the Tiki Bar next door.
No, we played. I'm okay. Talking about the last time we were in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The last time and I think we played the Thin Blue Line multiple times.
Aye! Cool. So that's so cool. So you guys do you guys hang out outside of music? Like, what do you guys do together when you're not playing shows?
Well, me and Matthias have a very similar mutual interest in rum and cocktails and music in general, of course. And I think Anton is not the greatest fan of cocktails, but we can persuade him into joining.
But Anton well, I have the cocktails in common with you one, and in like the dive bars with Anton. But then Anton makes the best Bloody Mary I've ever had, so it's world class.
All right. Well, like I said, can you make a virgin one for me?
I can make a virgin one.
All right. Okay.
Sure.
So I was curious how Johan got in the band. So you're into producing, engineering. Is that what you do too, as well as drums?
Yeah, I my main profession right now is programming. Because when I have a daughter 9 years old and a son who is 15 months, and when my daughter arrived, it's okay. It's kind of hard to survive as a musician playing just in Gothenburg. Gothenburg isn't LA, LA big, Gothenburg small, and so to survive as a musician, you have to tour a lot and be away, travel every weekend, and it wasn't really working out. When you have a kid, I want to be at home. So I got into programming, and that's my main profession, to provide for the family and stuff. And I do the music, not on the side, but a less portion of it, and kind of pick my main focus is Test Pilot being one of them. And I also did a lot of recording as a sound engineer, sound technician, and a producer and mixer before that, and now I do it for Test Pilots and some other bands as well, and I really enjoy it.
So when you guys were here in LA last time, was that your first time out here?
No.
When was that?
Tell me about the
17
first time you guys were out here.
Anton, that was 2017, right?
No. It was
18.
2018.
18.
And we were doing 2 shows together with Gorilla and Batmobile. We were doing one show downtown. Don't remember the place of the venue. And we were doing one show at a place in Santa Ana.
Okay, the Galaxy. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I was supposed to. Yeah, I was supposed to interview Batmobile that day. I was actually traveling out there. It didn't happen. I didn't get them to the following year. So when you said Batmobile, I'm like, that's right. Okay, it all went together. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. So we were doing that. I mean, the Galaxy show was amazing because there was something different before the pandemic. I mean, there was more shows. I think the scene was more alive to some extent.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, for that show, we played with 2 other big bands at a large venue. So people were flying in from all over the place of America. I mean, I think it was like 800 people there or something. It was a huge show.
Okay, so let's talk about this past year. I told you I went off on a little tangent there. So let's talk about this past year. You guys played. I know you guys did that Spain show again too, right? The psychobilly meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And then what else did
you about that one? Yes.
What?
And that's not your first time. I remember. I think Frank, didn't you guys see them before at the meeting? I think that's where I first heard about you guys. Frank was talking about how he saw you guys at the meeting, a previous one.
I think you guys played at the meeting, but it was at the Santis Beach Bar, right?
So this is this year, or this past year's. I found it. That's a cool picture. I had to put it up.
2015, we played. So two times previous, we've been there.
Yeah.
So that
was really great.
Was that the same year you played when they had the American night?
Yeah. Because now that I'm remembering it, I was there at Santis Beach Bar, and I was like on the side, just watching you guys play. It was really great, and then all the people in attendance were just glued on to the music.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a great memory.
Yeah, because Chris
for Bear, because he's never been there before, it's basically a bar on the side of the beach, like next to the sand, and the bands are playing right there. I think I don't even know how many people it could hold. I don't know, 75. And then there's other people on the sand,
Yeah, I just hear a lot of sand. I'm like, no, thank you. Fucking hate I hate the sand.
Yeah.
Especially if you're drunk.
Sand,
a lot of bad memories.
Yeah, I agree.
You get virgin sangrias there.
Oh, okay. Well, I want a virgin. Well, the Bloody Mary first. I want to, hang out with Anton. Anton, get the fucking Bloody Mary. Hear him talk more about guitars. So when I talked to Nevrotix, they were telling me how in Gothenburg, how you guys have a really good music program out there. So a lot of people play instruments when they're young. I take it that's what happened with you guys too. You all started very young with your instruments.
Yeah, we have we call it in Swedish Kulturskolan, the school of culture, or directly translated, it's stately funded availability for musicians or kids to learn music, different instruments. You can start as young as, well, my daughter is playing the violin now. She's 9, and she get like a private tutoring every week. And then as you grow older, you can choose more instruments, and it's
yeah.
So I started when I was 10 in that, playing drums.
Oh, the drums. Okay. What about you, Anton? Did you go straight to the guitar? I figure you saw that axe, you grabbed it.
Yeah, probably did. I think I had plans on playing drums or something at first, but I didn't. And I think I wouldn't have stayed with that anyhow, because guitar has chords and you can. I
Be
think it's
careful now what you say.
yeah, I think I started playing when I was 8 or something. Yeah.
That's a cool little 8-year-old, man. I wasn't playing with that shit. I was playing with fucking probably myself or Star Wars figures. I wasn't playing no goddamn guitar. That's cool, man.
You can do both, you know.
I think what Johan was saying is because I mean it's really, these questions are related, but what maybe Nevrotix was talking about often Swedish musicians or like these questions about Swedish export, music export is huge, and sort of how do you explain it by a country of 10 million people that can have the export and the output of good music and popular music, and often the explanation is given that that we have state funded music schools actually. So people in a very young age can for free borrow instruments and take lessons for a very low amount of money, really, and pursue to trying out different instruments, and so and you can also get rehearsal rooms, and you can start a band together. State funded resources for culture. So that's the explanation, I guess, to why a lot of people play music in Sweden and why it has been a great export.
All right, Matthias, did you start? You probably didn't start with the upright bass, right? You probably got into that through psychobilly. What instrument did you start with? That
a xylophone.
No, my parents put me on a Suzuki violin when I was like 5 or something, and I dropped out when they saw me was hiding behind a door crying or something, because it was a group of me and like 20 girls or something. Yeah. But and then like we can't force him to do this, and then I got to start playing the recorder instead, you know.
Yeah.
Well, but I was like waiting for because I had my older sister played the violin, and once a week I was at her training, just sitting waiting there watching her playing, and they had a drum kit in that in that hall or room where they rehearsed, and I know at the end of once a week of the end of their practice, I could go there and like for 30 seconds try a few beats, and then when I had the age of like 10, same as you, Johan, I could apply to start playing the drums and percussion, which I did, and then I switched to guitar after we did the drum corps, and then doing the stand-up bass at the same time, more like self, doing the bass lines from the knowledge from playing guitar, basically.
Well, but you should think about that, because I mean most people have like a main instrument, and they build sort of their influences and how they go about music sort of much related to their own instrument. But you play all instruments, and I mean I know you very well and how you think about music and how you, but you're more like music in general than you're any instrumentalist, which is fascinating, I think.
Well, thank you.
I still think it's amazing how you and Johan have known each other since you were 13. I can't tell you how I still talk to at the age of 13. You know, you kind of grow older, you grow away. Is it because you guys just had that click as you reconnect, or it's just a small town?
No, I think we kind of found each other quite close, quite early. With
Johan, Matthias,
mutual interests in music, and
yeah.
I mean, of course, you're right. It's a small town,
Ernie,
but not that small.
Okay, so before we move on, I want to play another track. I want to play "Drifting Stars" off Wasteland.
When the rain's pouring down and when midnight comes around, in my loneliness I recall our time. When I close my eyes I see you and your smile is warm and keen, but I'm aware of that it's just a dream. I'm used to spend time on my own and I don't care if I'm alone, but the memories of us lives on. From the bottom of my heart and the recesses of my mind, all these feelings lost have now been found. We'll drift into the sky, placed by the moon and stars on high. Another world goes by, where you'll be real, I'm by your side. I'm just so near, and I won't stay here. Beneath the gray clouds above, I'm just here and out of love, but the gloom keeps me from feeling down. It helps me getting back to the right side of the fence, where my loneliness don't make sense.
Fuck, I love that song. And I love the artwork off that album. I got to compliment that too. That very 80s retro slash, I don't even know what to call it. It has that 80s like cyberpunk background, you know, but it has, I don't know, I'm feeling maybe Mad Max with the guy's eyes coming out. It feels very 80s.
Yeah. That was the intention of it.
Yeah.
but I mean, that song is probably the song we were most uncertain about that record.
That song is very old. It's actually not written at the same time as the others, but and we didn't do it live. So it's
I think we should say something about the making of that album, because it was very. So we got asked to do LA shows, and I mean, it's been the pandemic and post-pandemic and so on, and we're not, our current drummer hasn't left yet, didn't leave yet for the time, so we had to sort of sort that out. He was not interested to play anymore, and we had to find a new drummer. Johan came in. And then we had, on very short notice, had to write a lot of material and record. So I think we wrote the tunes in like 2 weeks, and we recorded the EP in like a weekend or something.
Yeah, it feels like if you're going overseas to play and you haven't been, we've been active, but we haven't, released anything new for a couple of years. That would be, suitable to go there and play some new material, at least, which we're trying to do right now as well. Like, we want to play some new songs, even if no one heard it before, or but want to give extra special.
And what direction are these new songs going to go in? What are you looking for? Because I was going back to like I said, I've been going through your albums. Like I said, you have that. You mentioned your inspirations, like what the Caravans, or the Restless, like those 80s like neo rockabilly style. Are you still going to keep that approach?
In some ways, yeah, because like we actually, when we rehearsed how many days ago were it, like 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we tried out 3 new songs, and there are 3 different directions, really.
Not. I mean. I think that the Wasteland album was an attempt to sort of we pushed the boundaries a bit there. I think it was. I mean, we had a lot. We talked about we had a lot of different influences and so on, and it was a fun idea to sort of put the bit. There's a lot of things, other kinds of instrumentation and so on, going on in that album, which was fun. But in a way, we sort of wanted to now maybe bring things back a bit more to near-rockabilly, psychobilly, more conventional sounding ways, but in our own ways, I guess. So I think it will probably be more towards that direction this time.
No chorus though.
More towards the
A lot of work. We've been mindful of that this time.
No, I like your sound though. It's very, very straightforward, very 3-piece. But like I said, like the thing that's that guitar playing, man, just fucking that gives that I guess that technical aspect to it. It's very. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know where to pin you guys down. I'm just gonna call it the Gothenburg style. You know, between you and the Nevrotix, the 2 bands that I know of, you guys have your own thing going. You know, you match very well together.
Thanks, man. Yeah, they're good friends of us. So, yeah, we hang out a lot as well on the main, outside music. So.
And then you're talking about the how your music through every album you guys try different things. You know, with this last one, and then you're going to try to go back. One thing I mentioned too, I compliment you guys on more than once is your album art covers, so your album artwork. Do you use the same artist for these, or I only have a couple on here? But let's talk about something because album art, it seems like it's kind of a lost thing now. You know, like everything's digital now. People don't appreciate it as much as they should. I feel, and I still do. You know, I still like holding it. I still like looking at it. I still like flyers with it.
Well, yeah, we've had 3 different. The 2 first one was the same guy. What's his name again?
So it's Urban Mirage.
Oh yeah, Urban Mirage was that's the 3rd release, but the 2nd guy, Jill, who did the artwork, and then this new one is from a Argentinian guy called David. I forgot his name. Vergas or something.
Yeah.
So Dave from Psychoholic, he knew this guy and his work from before. That's the one who put us in contact. And we saw some stuff that he did that looked like 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
Typical covers for VHS movies and
I love it.
So, yeah.
I see it. I just want cocaine. I want that car that talks. What was it called? You know what I'm talking about with David Hasselhoff? Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, yeah.
Yeah, get me that car. Get me cocaine. Get me some electric music. And that album cover. All together.
That better be Virgin.
Oh, Virgin cocaine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Frank, I know you have some pretty good artwork too. I know you guys use Olaf a lot for the Quaranted's artwork. Do you have anything to say about album art? How important is it to you? Is it something you really put a lot of thought into?
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, but usually we just go to our artist is Olaf, and we just tell them like, hey, we're thinking about this. Can you just mess with it and do your own little twist? You know, he might make something. There's been a few times he made something and we're like, well, we don't really like it. Cute, change it. But yeah, album artwork is very important. I usually like, well, for me, because a lot of psychobilly could be very what's that word? Like obvious, or that's a terrible word, but like, you know, people want graveyards, people want zombies,
Generic.
I don't
Maybe
want
generic.
Yeah, there it goes. And then when you make stuff wacky, you know, you guys have a few wacky ones. I'm just like, oh, that's cool, you know, a little different.
Kind of reminds me of that Schizo. Was it was it Vertigo, where it had that fucking guy with the hair? Kind of has that feel to it in a way too.
Yeah, it does.
I just like how it just stands out. Like you don't forget it.
I mean, for every record, it's been. I guess the first two ones, we were not very involved, right? Yes, I think it was the label that was.
Yeah, well, we got the doodles and everything. Bus is his name, who does the artwork and did the artwork. And then
So
I
we got
think since those two were on the same label, and the guy knew him personally, and then I think we were like aiming for having a like, this is the logo, and this will be the mascot of the band or something. This rat in the plane, or.
No, I was just saying that the first two records, they were. I don't think we were that much involved, but maybe the Urban Mirage and the newer ones. I think we more had an idea about what we wanted to do and why and so on. So yeah, it's just that.
Oh yeah. It was.
Johan, go ahead. You were saying about you want to pick artwork that, and then after that, Frank.
Exactly. Just real quick, I think the goal with the artwork in general would be that there's applicable both to like the vinyl, the album, but also to a T-shirt print, real good. And in the end, hopefully, some fan like doing the tattoo on the arm or something. And I think that's. I mean, picking an artwork that is not too generic, as you said, you know, because Tombstone or whatever, it's not very particular for test pilots, but keeping kind of clear and I mean visually clear, that you can print in different spots, not just the album. The album should have a deep level with the colors and all, but also printable to the T-shirt and hopefully some fan tattoos or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, something. I always like artwork with a band that it's. I always say, like, for the podcast or something. There's people who've never heard my show, but they'll wear the pin or logo because it looks cool. You know, like normal person. Oh, this looks cool. I wore it. You know.
Yeah. And that's the goal, I think. One of the goals of good artwork for the album.
Frank, before we move on, do you have anything to say about the artwork, or artwork for your band, and artwork in general for album art?
No, I already said it. You know, the you guys' artwork for the first two look pretty cool. What was the other? Urban Mirage. That one is I like it too, but it's like you can't tell what it is. Not the artwork, but like you know, of course, if you see Test Pilots, you know it's psychobilly, but just by the artwork, you're like, oh, what is this? Are they going into, you know, rock or metal or something? You know, it's not like typical stuff. It looks pretty cool too.
I think it's funny that you bring that up, because I've been asking both Matthias but also Anton. For me, as a kind of like a newbie, like a noob into the psychobilly world, I've been asking them, okay, how do you define psychobilly? Multiple times.
It's hard.
I haven't had a clear like definition of the genre.
Yeah, it's got many. Yeah, it's got many many subgenres, like any music. You know, there's metal. The metal's big, but like there's different kinds of metal. Like psychobilly, there's different kinds of psychobilly. Like you and the Quaranteds will play the same show, but you sound nothing alike, aside from maybe a couple of clean tones here and there, and the clickety clack. You know. but I love it. I get excited thinking about it.
I thought it was funny because the song you played, it's more like country song, and I was asking the guys, is this psychobilly? It feels like kind of stretch, but if you put it together in this context with this artwork and these people, then it's psychobilly. So it's kind of hard to define. And I like that, Frank, that you talk about urban menage because it's not clearly psychobilly, but it's still psychobilly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the tattoo he got. That's a surprise. He got the urban tattoo.
Exactly.
I'm joking. That was a bad joke. All right, so let's move on to. I was going to fucking Frank, back me up. All right, so let's go on to what's next for you guys. We were talking about you guys are coming back to California and Las Vegas. So the first one, we're popping this up here. Boom.
Nice.
We got our friends and past guests, the Hammerheads, friends and past guests, Syndicates, friends and past guests, the Radar Men. John Dyer never been on, but I'm sure they're great. And you were saying this is your first time in Las Vegas. Oh, there's the artwork there. There we go.
Yeah.
You were saying this is going to be your first time in Vegas, Matthias?
Yeah. First time. Gonna be
and that's
great.
for all of you, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. You're maybe. Oh, I'll find out. I know there's tiki bars out there. I'll get a list of some tiki bars out there for you to check out in between.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one, I'm going to be going. I won't be at the Vegas one, but I'm going to be at this one for sure. This is that place with a tree in it, right, Frank?
Yeah. It's in a basement. Like you have to, you get to the venue and you have to take a flight of stairs going downstairs, and then it's pretty big, and there's a tree in there.
The hideaway,
and they put the hideaway, and in the back they put grass on the walls, and you can't really see it, but there's a door, and then that's the door for the backstage.
We have so there's Mad March here, who from like the 2000s. They're like an older band, I guess. They're back together. Quaranted, who I hear are pretty good. Don't know. The Syndicates, again, friends of the show. Henhouse Stranglers, they've been popping up on flyers. I don't know anything about them. I have to ask Frank about that. Who?
They're a Texas band.
Okay, they're a Texas band. All right. So I was going to do this earlier, but we got kind of sidetracked. Before I go, I'm just so curious to know you as people. Like I got to know Nevrotix as people probably a little too much. Like we wanted for a while, but I just want to get an idea of, like I said, starting with Matthias, when you're not doing the music, I know you like the tiki stuff. You like you're a drink mixer. What are you doing when you're not when you put the bass down and you want to kind of get your mind away from things as far as music?
Yeah. First of all, I'm a very proud dad to a 4-year-old daughter, and then I work as a teacher, and I am feel blessed to be able to play music with my friends. That's keeps me going.
That's kind of cool about being a dad. Is I'm not a dad, but I'm an uncle. But it gives me a reason to watch cartoons again, because sometimes it's like, shoot, like I had to borrow my nephew if I want to see a kids movie. Like, Sonic, fuck, I gotta borrow my nephew. He's like 10. Let me borrow him. I'm not gonna go alone. It's just weird. Let me borrow him real quick.
Yeah. Well, that's my daughter.
You can borrow mine at any time. Just let me know.
No, but like I said, it's kind of cool because it gives you. I don't know. It's just you watch, like I said, you watch cartoons you wouldn't normally watch. You like watching kids stuff, like, this is what kids are into now, because I grew up in the 90s. Cartoons were way fucking different back then. Now everything looks so digital, nothing's hand drawn anymore. It's weird, but it could be entertaining at times. But what are some other things you do with your you said your daughter?
Yeah.
What are some other activities you can do that's kind of fun, as far as what else is cool about being a dad? Because I'm just curious.
Oh, well, I try to introduce her to music as much as possible because, but she's very open-minded, and for music in general, I like that. But then we go to playgrounds and go swimming a lot, in what's that called? swimming houses during the winter year, and then open air during summer and stuff like that.
How is your success rate of keeping them away from the phone and tablet? I know that's an issue too with kids and the screens, the tablets. Hell, as an adult, it's hard. Imagine being a kid.
Well, I don't have any tablet at home, so I have the phone, but she's so young, so it's not a problem this at this point, but it'll be later. Yeah.
Do you have a home tiki bar you built, or at least working on?
I did have that in my previous apartment, but not right now. But I have tiki statues, fish floats, and tapa cloth and all that stuff. So it's it's pretty much like a living room with lots of tiki artifacts.
Yeah. Is the tiki culture big in Sweden, or at least?
No. Well, there are some few dedicated people who's doing, like music and home bars and stuff like that. But it's very spread out over the whole country. So it's, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about that after, because I want to talk tiki with you. Johan, you mentioned your what's it called? When the music's down, you want to take a break. What are you doing to unwind? I know you mentioned you're a family man as well.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of unwinding at the moment because of the family. I have 2 kids, and a wife. But when I do unwind, or my interest is except the music and drinking cocktails and stuff like that, I'm like a hobby carpenter. I like to build stuff. I have a farm, like a summer's house with a big barn and stuff out in the woods, a couple of hours from the city.
Really? So you're carving, you're building, you're swinging that hammer?
Exactly. I have a wood shop, and I like to build stuff. Anything from like furniture to lastly an outdoor kitchen at the summer house. And
tiki podiums, Mateus?
It's coming. It's coming. I mean, we have a big barn. It's about 350 square meters. I don't know how to translate that into US
yards.
Yards, but it's big. It's big, and we have room for a tiki bar. And one goal and a dream is for Matthias to come down, and we're going to build a tiki bar in some of the space there for sure. And also really planning to build a studio down there, because the sound of the wood barn is it's really, really nice. The problem right now is it's not isolated, so you can only record during the summers because it gets so. I mean, Sweden is cold, and also the room gets cold.
Yeah, I was talking to one because I know you guys played with Della Rocca, I guess, in October at a show. He was telling me how, I guess I'm not sure if it's the same out there, but in Finland, him and Hannah Huss were saying that the sauna is very big in their culture. So they're always at the sauna, for holidays, for anything, the sauna. Yeah. I never go to the sauna. So I don't like the sauna. It stinks, but I guess you guys have like nice ones.
Yeah, we have nice ones. But I actually on my list to build down at the summer house or the vacation house, the barn. I'm going to build a sauna. Wood that you what do you say, wood burned sauna.
Yeah. All right, Anton, hold on, let me unmute you real quick. I was getting some noise there. So you put down that guitar. We're not playing those sweet little notes I love hearing them, but when the guitar is down, what are we doing? You watching sports? You are you a builder? Are you a drinker? What are you doing?
So I've had the same 2 interests my entire life. So I've been playing guitar since I was a kid, and I've been doing sport fishing since I was like 5 or something. My dad is keen on fly fishing. I've been doing that a lot when I was younger, but so sport fishing is like just like music. There's a variety of sort of genres or different ways that are completely different from each other. And I do a lot of angling in freshwater. So that's been an interest of mine since I was a kid. And
Do you keep them or do you throw them back? If I go in your house, do you have like do you have them on your wall?
No, it's not like that. It's very catch and release, take a picture and you sort of you try to hunt the big ones for each species. That's that.
Oh, I see. So sport fishing, you get that? Yeah. It's so cool. This is so manly, man. Like I always talk about this, Frank. I'm not manly enough. These guys are builders. He's fishing. Frank is choking dudes. I'm freaking. I don't know what I'm not doing anything manly.
Yeah, but sport fishing is a big one.
Dudes.
It's been also. It's good to not only have like one hobby or interest in something that you could go back and forth to.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna follow you two on social media because I want to see those pictures. I want to see those fish. I want to see some of that. Some wood carving, some fish.
Well, otherwise, fishing, playing music, they're the main ones.
Right.
I like beer. I'm not that much of a cocktail guy as the other ones, but I'm interested in beer. So it's also that. I'm a intellectual curious person. I read a lot, and yeah.
All right. What are you reading right now? Anything interesting?
No, I don't read anything right now. I also listen to a lot of interviews and podcasts. I think the last one was this one.
Yeah, that's something I do. You guys, I do a lot of listening, a lot of podcasting, a lot of.
The last one I did.
Steve Pinker, Bigger Angels of Our Nature, or Better Angels of Our Nature. Okay, Better Angels. Okay.
Violence has declined. So, yeah.
All right. Well, man, so we're gonna wrap it up now because we went a little bit over time, but that's okay. Like I said, I enjoy this. I like talking to you guys. I can't wait. So when we're in person, I already talked to about having you guys on again. So I'm going to be there in person with the microphones. We're going to talk. I don't know. We'll talk about whatever I didn't cover here and whatever else comes up. Either way, we're hanging out at the basement with the tree and the fake grass.
Great.
Sounds great. Yeah.
All right. This is Beer with Bear with the Test Pilots. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.